Hello everyone, we're back again, this time looking at the vowels in actual words. And I've tried to choose some examples that show how difficult the spelling can be in English compared to the pronunciation. So I think this is a great lesson to remind us, be careful about spelling and sounds in English. Often the way something is spelt does not actually help us know how to pronounce it. So let's take a look here at some sample words, and we'll start again at the top on the left here. So reminder, this is the E sound, and these are the words here. He, weak, these. I'll pause after each one just to give you some time to practice it yourself. So let's do that again. E, he, weak, these. Hopefully you can hear that E sound. Now we have the I, his, hid, live. So let's compare that. If we have live with the I, we want to make sure we are not saying leave, or that would bring us back to this E sound. Okay, so live, leave. Let's go down to the A. Here we have A, game, hay, make. And then below that we have the E, as in pet, head, dress. Let's take the example of head and see what that sounds like using each of the vowels. So if we say head with an E, what do we get? We get heed, hid, haid, and head. I'm not sure haid is a word, but just for the example, you can see that there. So small differences. Again, we're at the front of the mouth with the tongue, and it's really about how high the tongue is. So it goes from the top and then down. We'll also talk about something called tense and lax, which is very important when trying to make the difference between the E and the I. So in another video, I'll explain that in more detail. So looking at these pairs here, the key difference is that tense and lax. So we'll see that in the next video. Let's move on and we'll take a look at the A, as in had, man, grass. Notice in man, it sounds a little bit different because of the N. So something happens where the N changes the sound a little bit. So instead of man, it's man. And over here we have ah, as in clock, pot, walk. What I find with this sound especially, there's a lot of words in English that are spelt with an O, like logic, problem, for example, clock and pot. And the spelling makes us think it's actually this O sound, but it's not. It's actually an ah sound. So look out for those words that are spelt with an O but pronounced with an ah. Moving up here, we have O, spoke, those, though. Good. Now we move up to We have full, book, hood. Spelling with this one is also challenging. So you notice we have one word that has a U, one word that has two O's, and then another word with two O's. I think it's commonly confused with the O. It's also commonly confused with the So again, practicing the difference between the O, and the Okay, up at the top here we have oo. Oo as in choose, who, food. We have lots of examples with this sound in English. And back down to the middle central position. Reminder, this is the so we have the words much, cut, some. Again, we see words spelt with O, but the sound is actually some. So be careful with this area. Commonly, the spelling does not reflect the actual sound. Okay, those are some examples with each vowel. In the next video, we'll look at tense versus lax, giving a little bit more detail of how we can more accurately produce the differences between those sounds.